emphasizing his support of Dak. Emmanuel Acho back here with us. Good to see you. Stephen A., do you believe Stephen Jones is bullish on Dak?
I do believe he is. I do believe he is, because I don't think that Dak has given him much of a reason not to be. I think what we all have to take into consideration, and it's very, very important that we understand this, when you're talking about Dak Prescott or any quarterback in the National Football League, the best ability is availability. That's the first order of business. Dak Prescott has never missed a game, ever. This week was the first time he ever missed practice, this week before the Eagles game. The dude shows up for every single game. He's a consummate professional. He echoes the sentiments of the front office. And then he goes out on the field. He throws for 4,000 yards. He has twice as many touchdowns as interceptions. When you look at it and then you combine that with the fact that there are so many questions about your head coach and your offensive coordinator, that insulates him to some degree. We don't look at the Dallas Cowboys and go like this: damn, Dak's a scrub. Dak can't play. Dak ain't good enough. Week after week after week, we might see a play here or there. He missed a throw to Tavon Austin. He missed another throw to Gallup. But he also hit Gallup in the hands. He hit Randall Cobb in the hands. He hit Amari Cooper in the hands. We see these kind of things. So what do we find ourselves talking about on this particular day in the aftermath of the Eagles' victory over the Cowboys? 4th and 8. The offensive coordinator didn't have Amari Cooper on the field. Ezekiel Elliott only had 5 carries in the first half, 13 carries overall. We're looking at other things to question things around Dak Prescott. And as long as there are questions around him, and you see what his record is as a starter, okay, which is better than practically everybody as a starter over the last 3 or 4 years than Tom Brady and maybe one other dude, the reality is you cannot take away the fact that Stephen Jones and those guys have had bad quarterbacks with the Dallas Cowboys. They know what that experience is like, and they know when they've got a good one. And then Dak Prescott, he may not be the best, but he's a good one.
He's lying by omission. He's being slick. Okay. He's talking slick here because this is what he said. He said, "I'm as bullish as I ever was." That's so. Who knows that they're not so bullish that they ever released. They said, "Oh, we offered him all this money." How much guaranteed, Joneses? How much guaranteed? That information never got out there. You know why? I can guarantee you, it wasn't a big amount. That's why Dak didn't want to sign it. Now. And if it was, they would have announced, "Oh, we guarantee didn't set the market, but it was comparable to this one and that one." Now, you can't be bullish on Dak right now as your franchise quarterback. I think you can think he has a chance to be, but look what happens when you wish cast. Organizations do this, and fans do this in baseball a lot with like minor league prospects. I wouldn't trade this minor league prospect for Mike Trout. Yes, you would. Like, stop. Because you're hoping that this player turns out to be the best version of what you can imagine they can be. That's what they're doing with Dak if you act like he's a surefire franchise quarterback. He might be a franchise quarterback, but he just got Jason Garrett fired and played himself into a franchise tag. Look at organizations who squint and hope that the guy is better, is what they imagine. Jared Goff. Goff is killing the Rams' cap right now. Carson Wentz, the reason I'm so hard on Wentz is I believe he can be the kind of quarterback that justifies that contract. I don't think Goff can be. I don't think Dak can be. But I believe Wentz can be. But he's not right now. That's why I'm critical of him. Mahomes is that kind of guy. Rodgers was that kind of guy. Maybe he still is. There are precious few who are actually worth that money. If you pay Dak like he is, it's going to kill you. He's about to get franchised. I don't believe Stephen Jones.
You know what I'm tired of hearing is Dak might be a franchise quarterback. And I'm tired of hearing of it because we've seen it 4 years now. By the time you're going on your 4th, 5th, 6th year, we should know who you are, right? Dak Prescott, he puts up a lot of yards, to Stephen A's point, but Jameis Winston leads the league in yards, and the Buccaneers are sitting at 7 and 8. Phillip Rivers, he's 3rd in yards, and they're not looking very good. Then you got Dak Prescott, 2nd in passing yards. He has a bunch of stats, but to me, they're a bunch of empty stats, right? The top 3 teams in passing yards are 3 of the worst teams in the league. Bad teams. So I don't really care about what does Dak Prescott look like statistically, because to me, the biggest quarterback statistic is winning. And I know some people try to say it's not baseball. You can't equate quarterback play to winning. Yes, you can. The best quarterbacks, they win the most games. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson this year, Tom Brady the course of his career, Aaron Rodgers this year and just about every other year. So winning is a quarterback stat, no matter what they say. Stephen Jones is lying.
Well, let me say this to you.
I'm glad you said that about quarterback stats. It's become undervalued.
First of all,
winning.
Let's understand something here. Don't ever bring up Dak Prescott's name in the same breath as Jameis Winston. Now, Jameis Winston has 119 touchdowns that he's thrown in his 5 years in the National Football League. He's thrown 86 interceptions. This year he's at 28. He's on the verge
That
of
dates
becoming.
back to college.
He's on the verge of being a 30-30 guy in the National Football League, which is some unprecedented stuff when you got 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. That's how bad Jameis Winston erratic he's been. He's doubled the amount of interceptions he threw last year, which was only 14. Okay, Dak Prescott in his 4 years in the National Football League has thrown 36 interceptions. 36. Don't do that to him. That's number one.
But you watch the tape now.
Listen, I am watching the tape. And this is the thing. And not only am I watching the tape, I'm listening to people like you. So you got to make sure. See, when you come on this show, you always got to be careful because I'm watching you. You see what I'm saying? I'm watching you. And here's the deal. Dak Prescott, is he a guy that's worth $35, $40 million? No. But don't bring up the word franchise quarterback. You know why? Matt Stafford's supposed to be a franchise quarterback. He's making $28 million.
They're getting killed.
I'm just saying, Matt Ryan went to a Super Bowl. He's a franchise quarterback. He's getting $30 million.
But if you could redo it, you wouldn't give him those contracts.
I think you would. I think you would.
You both glossed over something Max said that I'm not sure if it was fair. Max said that he got Jason Garrett fired on Sunday.
He did. Max is exactly right.
You think that's accurate?
Well, here's what people don't get.
I don't think Dak got him fired.
Here's what people don't get
That was Max's statement.
Dak Prescott's not winning games. To Stephen A's point, he's not losing them. I mean, he's only thrown 30-plus picks. Dak isn't losing games.
How do you put his job on Dak?
No, it's not the whole thing. That's the straw that broke the camel's back.
I watched the game on Thanksgiving against the Buffalo Bills, right? The Cowboys lose that. Dak Prescott missed some pivotal throws that if he would have made some of those throws, that would have helped them win the game.
The man is 39-24 as a starting quarterback.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback.
Hold it. There are not 4 quarterbacks in the entire National Football League with a better record over the last 4 years than Dak Prescott.
Stephen A., but is he a top 4 quarterback?
Time out.
No.
But listen what I'm saying.
Is he a top 10 quarterback?
Time out. Forget all of that for a second.
Not.
And the reason why we have to forget all of that for a second is this. I just said to y'all, he's in terms of wins as a starting quarterback, he is top 5, and we religiously talk about the problems around him.
But would you say all wins are created equal? Because when you needed him to win the most,
but are all losses created equal?
No, wait.
Look at the problems that they have. Look at how dysfunctional they are.
Good win this year. They've otherwise beaten garbage teams.
I'm not saying
one good win.
They're 1-6 in one possession.
I'm not saying the man deserves 40 or even 35 million a year. I'm not saying he deserves to be the highest paid quarterback in the league.
He deserves to be franchise tagged.
What I'm saying, okay, franchise tag, a 1-year deal, really?
That's what he deserves.
He played himself.
Did you feel that way before the season?
No, by week 3 of the season, to Stephen A's point, I was like, man, Dak is that dude. I went on Get Up and I said, Dak is the man. Then I watched him on Thanksgiving and I said, Dak ain't the man. Then I watched him on Sunday and I said, Dak cost his team. Now, did his receivers drop some balls? Yes. Kellen Moore, did you have the right personnel in on 4th and 8? Absolutely not. But Molly, the elite ones,
my Lord. I cannot believe the level of cruelty both of you are engaging in here. The man is 26 years old, playing for a dysfunctional franchise.
Wait.
And still 15 games over 500. You got me defending the Cowboys.
My position on Dak has basically stayed the same. The 2 guys he reminds me of are Russell Wilson and Tom Brady. Early in their careers, they were game managers who were big on 3rd down. And you thought they could develop into great players, and they did. The difference is Bill Belichick and Pete Carroll versus Jason Garrett. So what I would say is Dak still has a chance to be a great player, but you can't pay him based on what you hope he'll become. You got to see it from him first.
Here's what I'll say. Dak, to Stephen A's point, is really good. The Cowboys' expectations are for great. So you can keep playing with really, really, really good, which is why they should. But the Cowboys' expectations are great.
Gotcha. Do you need a great quarterback to win a Super Bowl?
In this day and age?
At least a great clutch quarterback.
Excuse me. You've praised Dak for his clutch play at times.
I agree. I think he's
had some moments. Listen, he's 15 games over 500, career 65% completion, 93 touchdowns, 36 interceptions. He's a leader. He's reliable. He's trustworthy. All I'm saying to you is this. If you have the coach, if you do what you're supposed to do around him, then you can hold him accountable.
You can't pay him based based on what you hope. You got to, like, whatever, even if he's being victimized by it, the fact is he got himself franchised.
In this day and age of football, though, Stephen A., I think you do need an elite quarterback because you're going against an elite Lamar Jackson, an elite Patrick Mahomes.
Oof.
You can't trot out a non-elite quarterback when you've seen, let's go to 2017. Nick Foles on that Sunday was elite.
Patrick
Tom Brady,
Mahomes,
elite in the Super Bowl.
has Andy Reid. Lamar Jackson has John Harbaugh. Drew Brees has Sean Payton. Russell Wilson has Pete Carroll.
And what is this about?
Even Carson Wentz has Doug Peterson. Come on, y'all.
No, that's right.
Y'all are not being fair to him.
That is right. That's why what Jerry Jones did, what this season was really
Tom
about,
Brady and Bill Belichick.
what this is really about, and the problem with it is that we already knew the answer to this, is Jerry Jones gave them everything they need and isolated two variables. Mm-hmm. Is it the coach or is it the quarterback? What we found out is, and we already knew this, Jerry apparently didn't, you got to get rid of the coach. But what that means is you're going to bring someone else in, and now you're going to evaluate the quarterback. I do not think Dak is getting paid until then.
And that's why you think it's the franchise. We'll see the new quarterback, see Dak, and then they'll make a decision. I want to ask you this, and if my memory serves me correctly,
We're just
obviously.
ignore the fact these 15 games over 5.
No. I think that
You're ignoring it.
That's why you're franchised.
I want to go back to this, a pet topic with you, because you've been hard on Carson Wentz. Initially, when he got drafted, you're a huge fan, yada, yada, an exceptional talent compared to a Dak Prescott, right? And then you kind of flipped it, and you said, I'd rather have Dak than Carson. Where are you now at this point? What we've seen from Carson the last few weeks and what we've seen from Dak?
Probably Carson, but Dak was hurt for the first time, and that probably affected it. But I'll say this about Carson Wentz. The reason I'm so hard on Carson Wentz, he made 4 throws the other day that maybe only Mahomes can make other than him. Carson Wentz has, when you say Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, Carson Wentz has that kind of talent. Dak does not.
Yep.
But neither did Tom Brady. And Tom Brady's the GOAT, right? So you can be great. You can be the best even without that talent. But you can't just assume a guy's going to develop into that. We must.
We don't understand what the hell you're talking about, and here's why. Carson Wentz got his money first. You didn't oppose that because I know you just sitting saying he's more talented than Dak Prescott. But again, availability was an issue with him. He's never produced in the postseason because he was hurt before the postseason. You had no problem with him getting his money, but a guy that's never missed a game.
That's not true. Wait, hold up.
That's not true?
What did I say before the season? I said what they ought to do is sit down Wentz and Foles and say, excuse me, guys, this is working.
You didn't say pay both?
The whole point in keeping Foles is you didn't have to pay Carson yet.
Did you say? I did not say the point, what the point was. I said what you said.
No, I didn't say
you didn't say pay both?
No.
See, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't even talk to you about it. Because now you say you didn't say what I know you said.
Hold on, Stephen A. My point is you have a dude on a rookie deal. That's when you can have a luxury like Nick Foles on the team. Once you have to pay Wentz, I get it. You got to figure some things out. But you save that until the last